Hello, welcome back. For those of you that don't know, hi, my name is Biddy. I am a variety streamer on Twitch. Occasionally, I post videos on YouTube. This used to be a cleaning and family channel. It is almost midnight right now, and my kids are asleep. I am tired. This is the only time I get to make this kind of video. So, any hooters, I have three babies, okay? And in my spare time, besides being a mom and cleaning and trying to survive every single day, I love to read. I have always loved to read. I'm a big reader. I mostly started out reading like Danielle Steele in high school. I loved Goosebumps in junior high. And then when I was in my 20s, I went through a Harry Potter phase. I will always love Harry Potter. As you can see at my very top shelf of my bookshelf, that is Harry Potter cup. Yeah. So, anyways, I just recently got into smut. Okay, I didn't even know what smut was like last year. Okay, let's just say like a year and a half ago. I didn't know this kind of thing existed. Okay, you dirty birds. I didn't know that this is what you people were doing. Okay, in public, by the way, there's people who listen to this out loud. Okay, I didn't even know you can listen to books out loud. I thought you had to read them with your hand. That's how I thought you read books. I'm learning all kinds of things, okay? So, anyways, I figured I would do a review on Lights Out. Now, Lights Out was on my wish list, my Amazon wish list, for a very long time because a lot of people I know were like, oh my God, it's the best book ever. You gotta read it. It's so hot. It's so steamy. Like, oh my, there were so many things. So I was like, all right, fine. Everybody I know that reads smut has read it. Even people who didn't read smut that just started reading smut, they've read this book. So I put it on my wish list. Then I got it. I just finished this baby. I'm currently on book 2. So, for those of you that don't know about this book, um, I'm going to try not to give any spoilers, okay? So, if you haven't read this book and you're here to see if you want to read the book, I highly suggest you get it, okay? So, you don't need to go any further to spoil it for yourself. Go out, put it on your wish list, put it on your Christmas list, your birthday wish list, anything and everything to get you this book. Okay? 10 out of 10. So, this book basically, from what I was told in the beginning, was about a girl who has an obsession with a man in a mask. Like, I thought it was basically like Scream, Ghostface. That's what I thought. And it was kind of giving me like Brian Koberger vibes, not gonna lie. Like, so I kind of like didn't want to read it. But I've read it and it's absolutely not Brian Koberger vibes, so don't worry about that. But there was a trigger warning. So the book before this one, can I even remember what that book was? Let me look on my list. Um, the book I read before this one, oh, it was He Sees You When You're Sleeping. It's somewhere on this list. It is, I think it's bottom shelf somewhere. Anyways, it's another like kind of smutty book with a cam girl and she sells jewelry and there's like a stalker. I didn't know that I had triggers until that book. Like the stalking. Stalking is my trigger. Like I didn't know that. I didn't know about triggers. You hear about trigger warnings. There's all kinds of trigger warnings in these smutty books, but I never knew I had a trigger until he sees you when you're sleeping. And that made me really weird. I ended that book on like, oh my gosh, I don't really like get off on the whole stalking thing. Like that's super weird. So then my friend's like, ooh, I don't know. You might be triggered by lights out. So I almost didn't read it because I was told it was stalking. And I was like really worried. So to start off, there's a nurse. She works in a hospital. She's obsessed with this guy. Let's just say TikTok. It's not TikTok, it's an app. It's an app like TikTok. And this man dresses up in a mask with a knife, a bloody knife, and he like is given a show, okay? It's dark and nasty, and he's given a show, and she's obsessed with him. On her breaks or after work, she'll watch his shows. I think he posts every Thursday, if I can remember. Comment down below if you remember what days he posts. I'm not sure. Anyways, so turns out she actually knows the dude. He did a little light stalking. There was some stalking in there. And I was a little bit worried about it, but it turned out that I loved it. I loved all of it. I don't think there was anything in this book that made me feel triggered at all or super weird. Um, it was hot. Okay, it was hot. You ever see, if you're a girl or a guy, you ever see those videos on Facebook or YouTube where it's like the hot, sexy guy and he's like doing a dance or he's doing like push ups or something? Imagine that. Like, that's what she's looking at. So it's steamy. He's full of tattoos. Why are all these smut books full of tattoos? Like men with tattoos. Like, I don't get it. Anyways, pause. This is my cup. It's got my book. It's super cute. This is the one I've been using. Now, I don't have my bookmark to show you that I used for this book um, because it's in book 2. This book did take me a minute to get into, and I'm going to be very honest with you. The very beginning, I was kind of bored. And some books, like, some of them, if they don't grab me right away, like in the first couple of pages, if you don't grab me, it's highly unlikely that you're going to grab me. I need those books that are just going to grab me and suck me into that imaginary world, and like I'm going to be in that world. So the beginning of this was a little slow. And it was just not what I had expected. I'm going to say, like, I was expecting a girl who had her house broken into multiple times and a man that was stalking her and gonna do bad thing. I thought it was I thought it was gonna be something totally different. It's not. It's hot. It's romantic. Okay, like I did not expect that. The characters in this, yay for them. Like yay for them. The fact that they found each other and they have each other, especially like with the dude's background. Okay, the main guy Josh. You fall in love with these characters. You really do. The girl by herself is boring. Josh by himself is very, like, he's super interesting. And the fact that what they bring out in each other and then what they experiment with, it's not only hot, but it's like it makes you happy. Okay? Like, well, it made me happy. Like, yay for them. Yay for them, you know? It's definitely not Hallmark vibes. It's more like a slutty Hallmark movie, but I'm very happy for them. I love this book. Um, I can't really think of any negatives except for the fact that like s- I don't want to give any spoilers. There's one thing that makes me like, did you really got to put that in there? So, if you've read the book, feel free to comment down below what your ups and downs were, what your favorite part was, what you didn't like. If you haven't read the book, there are trigger warnings, okay? Like, please read your trigger warnings. If you don't think you have any triggers, um, oh, you're going to get it. She's actually a trauma nurse. That's what it was. She's a trauma nurse. And so there's a lot of, like, if, just read your trigger warnings, okay? Just read them. That's mostly important. Um, if none of the trigger warnings bother you, you're going to love this book. It's going to be amazing. So, it is not anything that I thought anybody told me it was going to be. It was something totally different. Um, I loved the ending of it. I really wish there was like another book, but, and I don't know if this is true, so comment down below if you know it's true. There's supposedly going to be a movie or a TV show about this. And if there is, oh my stars in the sky, how I am so excited. Like, I started reading 50 Shades of Grey, okay? And I haven't finished the first one yet because I've seen 50 Shades so many times. Like, it's just, I can't finish the book yet. But I honestly feel like this 100%, if they do it right, it will be bigger and better than 50 Shades of Grey. 1000%. Um I can't wait if that is true. Holy freaking moly. So, if that is true and the TV show is coming out, I highly suggest reading the book first. Go and grab it now. Um, you can, there's Amazon. There's also like book apps that you can download on your phone that are free where you can get thrifted books for super cheap. Sometimes people give them to you for free. Sometimes you can like bargain with them or trade. There's all kinds of ways to get books. You can download Kindle Unlimited. I do read books there sometimes. You can do the audio. I don't like to listen to books, and I don't like to read them on the phone. Um, but sometimes if you don't have the money for a book, um, I don't think this would be at your local library. But I have went to the library. I will do anything and everything to try and get a book. But I have a book fairy. So shout out to my book fairy. You know who you are. Shout out. Thank you. It was a great book. I love it. I'm on book 2. I'm almost done with book 2. So, I could have read this book. This book is, I could easily read a book in a day. This was not a day read. This book did take me a while to read. Only because of the beginning. Okay, I was a little bit bored in the beginning. But I think that's not a negative thing. It's only because I think that the writer wanted you to get into the character, like to really understand who she is in her life. And for me, it's like I just want to jump into the juicy details. Like get to the smacks, okay? Just get to it. Get to the raw and dirty. But I think that's why it took me so long to finish this book. But once I got past that and I actually started like getting more and the characters were getting smexy and it was getting to the story, I was like, oh, okay, it makes sense now. So then I just dived in and I couldn't stop. So this could have been a 2-day read. Um, if you have like a day or two off or you're on vacation, you can even, fuck it, read it at work. Like, who cares? Read a chapter at a time. Do what you gotta do. Read it late at night. I usually read this at nighttime with a nightlight, a book light. I can try and find the link to my booklight and drop it down below. Um, for those parents who have littles or hectic lives and really don't have time to read except late at night or early in the morning. Um, but I do know people who listen to it out loud on Audible and like, oof, that might be hot. I don't know. I just can't listen to things, which is super weird because I listen to true crime, right? Super weird. Anyways, super good book. I love Josh's background and the person that he is and who he becomes with her. I I like her, but I like her with him more. I like how they grow together. And then the fact that he's not some creepy dude that she doesn't know off the street, I think it makes it so much better. I think that's why I enjoyed this and it made me feel more comfortable was because it just wasn't some creepy dude off the internet. So now we're going to get into the spoilers. Okay, so Josh, the guy that is the TikTok, it's not TikTok, it's like a sexy app or whatever. He is covered in tattoos and he's super hot and he's super smart. Like he's a hacker. He's super freaking smart. But he had a rough childhood and his dad was a serial man, you know? You know what I'm saying? Multiple victims and they were ladies. So he went out in hiding with his best friend and so he kind of doesn't really have any girls. So he doesn't want people to know who he is and recognize him because he looks just like his dad. So that's why he goes on the internet and he wears a mask and he does like kinky stuff. He's into the kink, like dom stuff, you know? And she loves it. This girl. What is her name? I can't remember her name. I know his name though. What is her name? Allie. Yeah, that's right. So Allie is a trauma nurse and she works long shifts. And this dude, Josh, his videos are sometimes the only thing that gets her through her day. And I get it. I get it because I have those videos too. You ever have like a YouTuber or a TikToker that like whenever they post, you look forward to it and like you've had a really bad day at work or at home with like and you look forward to your videos, you know what I'm saying? Like that's him for her. So she's like one of his stalkers. She comments on a lot of his videos. She actually um dated his roommate. So that's how she met him. Was Allie was dating Josh's roommate. I can't remember his name. I don't want to botch it. It's in there. I just don't know it. So they were a fling. They weren't really dating. They were just friend buddies, bed buddies. Bed buddies without the bugs. And she'd just been so busy with work, so she hadn't realized that she hadn't talked to him in a while. So she had messaged him. She showed him the video of Josh, but he doesn't know it's Josh, and she doesn't know it's Josh, right? And she's like, basically, I want to do this. And he's like, yeah, I kind of have a girlfriend, and you haven't talked to me in months, and I'm not into that. Well, guess what? He goes and shows Josh, his roommate, and he's like, look what Allie just sent me. And Josh like has a heart attack. He's like, OMG, that's me. Like, are they gonna know? Like, what the heck? Like, does she know? So he started freaking out. But on the other side of him freaking out, he's like, hey, Allie, what? Allie likes that kind of stuff? What? And he's a hacker. And he's really smart. So this man went above and beyond to find out where this girl lived, where she worked. He hacked into her cameras at work. He ended up breaking into her house and doing some stuff, okay? I'm not going to spoil that part because that's like my favorite. So he goes above and beyond and like their worlds collide. Like her in person, like he finds out who she is and then she finds out who he is. And then just things happen. She enters his world. But then in the end, he enters her world, and it just, they make their own world, if that makes sense. But my favorite part is the car part. Like, when he picks her up from work, if you know, you know. That's like, that was where it grabbed me. So the part where he was going into her house, that made me a little, that was like a little weird or whatever. And then she was at work when she found the video and that he had made, and it was in her bedroom. That's creepy right there. Number one, like someone that you watch on TikTok or some app, and all of a sudden, like, hey, that looks like my bed. That looks like my dresser. Is that my room? And then you come home and find their mask on your bed. Like, could you imagine the terrifying feelings? Like, holy moly. So that was scary. But this writer does a really good job with making it not weird. And I'm really glad that this person wrote this book the way that they did, because they turned what could have been a really bad trigger into something comfortable, if that makes sense. It's comfortable. It's sexy. It's like, holy moly, what fantasies with some deep dark stuff, but it's comfortable. Only because I don't have like any of the other triggers. Thank goodness I don't. Um, but they really did their best. I feel like their best at making you understand the people and feeling comfortable in an environment that could potentially be scary. So you go through a lot of emotions. Well, at least I did. You're like, oh, this is hot, this is hot, this is hot. And then it's like, okay, wait, are we going to die right now? Like, is this like, are we going to end up in a van and buried under the ocean? Like, what's about to happen here? So your heart rate goes up and down for multiple things. And each page, you're just like, you have to know. Like, you need to know what the heck happens. You can't put it down. And so that, for that, I loved it. So the beginning was a little rough. Um, I'm not sure. I wanted to make chapter notes, but I didn't with this book. Only because I was rushing it. I was trying to get it done. It says a dark romance like you've never seen before. Can you handle the ride? I want someone with a soul as black as night. Someone who would burn the world down for me and not lose a single minute of sleep over it. I want things most people don't. Craving darkness. So it's about his secret world and if she can handle it, and her world opening up to accept him for who he is. But it's like, is he gonna kill her? Is he gonna kill her? And at the end of the day, she thinks it's so hot. Would she let him? I don't even know if I can say that word on here. Anyways, I'm rambling on. But 10 out of 10, I loved it. Not what I thought it was. The couple that slays together stays together. That's, it was super hot. Um, Something that was a little weird was the part where she's in the van and then she runs out and they're at the dude's house. If you know, you know. If you haven't read this book, when you get to that part, let me know how you feel about that, because it got a little weird. It got a little weird. I don't know how I felt about that part. How would you feel if you were watching somebody, a man or a woman, and they had some kind of weird, dark fantasy, and you were watching them, and then next thing you know, they find out your username and find out where you live, and they end up in your damn house, and they leave you evidence behind, and then make a video. Sounds hot, right? But at the same time, it's like, and then you find out his background. OMG. It's terrifying. Absolutely, it's a roller coaster. One minute you're hot and heavy and you want to grab the toys, and the next minute you want to lock your doors. And I'm not even playing. Like, that's how I felt. Do I grab the toys? Do I lock the door? I don't know. Do I do both? Who knows? So that's my take on this book. I am reading a number two. And number two is about Allie's cousin. And so Josh and Allie are still in number two. So I like that. They're still in number two. Um, the way that they ended this one is so great. And the fact that there's a little bit of Josh and Allie in number two, I'm really glad that they did that. There's a number three. I don't know anything about number three or when I will read it. But if this is true to come out on a TV show or a movie, if they do it right, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. It's going to be so much better than 50 Shades of Grey. I really hope they do this right. So, anyways, comment down below if you've read the book. If you haven't read the book, what you thought. Have you ever read a book that had trigger warnings and it was too much for you? Have you read a book and you didn't even know you had trigger warnings and you were like, I can't do this? Are you into smut? Are you not into smut? When do you read your smut? When do you not read your smut? I also read true crime, so I want to go through my bookshelf with you. I will do a more in-depth video. I'm just rambling on. So if you look right here, this is my Harry Potter. These three books right here are my Allison in Underland books. These were my first smut books. Right here. I believe it was my first smut series. If you have not read Allison in Underland, OMG. It's my all-time favorite. That's why it's on the top. Like, more favorite than all of these books. Okay. Yes, I have the Bibles here. These are the kids' Bibles. I don't want to put them in the living room because I don't want the baby to destroy it. So that's why they're up here. Do not judge me for putting the Bibles next to smut. This is just how I just threw it together, okay? I will ask for forgiveness later. Anyways, so these are my Alice books. This is Holly Madison, her Down the Rabbit Hole, and I just put it up here because I love Playboy. I've always loved Playboy. So, and it had to do with Down the Rabbit Hole, Alice in Wonderland. So that's why that's up there. I got this, I believe, for my birthday or just a gift just recently. It's Harry Potter. Hey, baby. These flowers are dead. They are for Valentine's Day. This is my Frida McFadden section. Okay. My housemaid series. I love Frida. Okay. These are my Geneva Rose books. That right there is these are my two James Patterson books. Now, I've read so many James Patterson books, it's not even funny, but those were library books. I don't own those. My aunt actually got me into James Patterson. Then this is the Stephen King. I don't know what this one is. Stephen King. Yeah, these are my Stephen Kings. The other Stephen Kings that I read were library books. Then these ones are, I don't even know. It kind of looks like a series, huh? It might be. This was, we started a book club. I want to say last year or the year before. The Stranger Behind Me. I think that's Ted Bundy, right? I love that book. Love, 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 love it. Which is weird because he's a stalker too. And I have like a stalker trigger, but Ted Bundy didn't trigger me. It's so super weird. I don't know. Maybe it's because I read this and Brian Koberger wasn't a thing. I don't know. I feel like Brian Koberger ruined my life. But anyways, These are just some other books that I've read. This Some of these I haven't read. And then this one right here where my bookmark is in, that is number 2. So this is number 1 and this is number 2. And I'm almost finished with number 2. But also, off topic of Lights Out. I'm not good with reviews. I'll get better with them, I promise. We're going on 30 minutes here, but it's fine. We're just chit chatting. I have a smut problem. Hi, my name is Biddy, and I'm addicted to true crime and smut. So if there's true crime and smut, that's even hot. Any hooters. Um, I forgot what I was saying. I'm tired. It's after midnight. I hope you had an amazing weekend. I hope you have a great week. Um, if you have, that's where I was going with this. I am currently reading. I started a new series. It's about Peter Pan and the Lost Boys and Wendy. It's supposed to be smutty. I don't know. I just started. I'm not there just yet. I don't know if you've seen those like TikTok reel things about the Lost Boys and all that, but they're not children, they're adults. Like Peter Pan. Imagine Peter Pan growing up and like being smexy and all tatted out, and the Lost Boys. And Tinkerbell isn't Tinkerbell. And it's Wendy's like distant relative, and there's sex. Can I say that? I don't know. There's smexy time. That's what I'm doing as I'm reading number 2 of this. So I'm starting that new series, and we'll see if it's up there on the shelf. Now, this one is definitely it doesn't beat Allison and Underland. Not it doesn't even touch it. But I want to say, as far as smut, like I'm gonna rate Allison and Underland 1, Lights Out 2. Okay, and then after I finish the second book of this and the Peter Pan series, it's actually where's my do I have my phone? No, I don't. It's called like look it up. T.S. Kinsley, I believe, is the author, and it's like second star on the right, Straight On Till Morning, Beyond the Veil. That's the series that I'm getting into now. I'll let you know how the second book goes, and then how that series, and then I'll kind of do like a what's on my bookshelf kind of thing, and I'll rate my books. I just got my bookshelf put together this weekend, so I just threw books up there. We'll see how it goes. But thank you for watching. If you have any recommendations for books, please let me know. A lot of my other books that aren't from the library or not on my bookshelf is because they're on my phone on the Kindle Unlimited. I don't like to read on the phone. It bothers my eyes. I'm a like curl up with the book kind of read, and it's just something about holding a book and turning the pages. Like I'm a physical girl, but I'll read it. So I am gonna come up with. I found out that they have a virtual bookshelf where you can get the books that you've read and add them onto it. So I'm gonna do that and post it in my book club group on Facebook. So if you are interested in joining the book club, please comment down below, and I will send you the link for the book club. People read different books. You don't have to follow along on the same book. Like Alicia and I are reading different books. Like we're constantly reading different books. She reads like 5 books at a time and listens to 2 of them at the same. I don't know how she does it. I can only focus on 1 book at a time. But currently, I am reading 2 books right now. We'll see how it goes. But until next time, I will do another book review. Um, I don't know. Let me know if you want like The Housemaids, Alice in an Underland, any of the Frida books. Um, Ooh, you know what? I want to do a Carrie one. Stephen King, I have words for you. I got words that I need to speak out loud about Stephen King. So, we'll do lots more book reviews. I'm sorry this is so long. I've never done this before. I was just really excited to talk about this book. So, yeah. 10 out of 10. Amazing. Get this book. Get it. However, you gotta get it. Any Hooters, I am gonna go. And I hope you have a great rest of your week. I'm not sure when I'm going to post my next video or what it's going to be. But I will post an album for book reviews and book talk, so that way if you're just here for that kind of thing, you don't get lost in the video games or the true crime stuff or anything like that. So, just if you're looking for something particular, look in the albums or the playlists. All right. Don't forget to like and follow and subscribe. I am here for you. And you can also catch me live on Twitch almost daily. Almost daily. I am also on TikTok. And I am on Instagram. But Instagram is a private name. So if you want that, you can. I believe you can get that on my Twitch. So, anyways, I will see you guys later. And happy reading, you little slooters.